We keep her legacy alive. We think about all the greatness that she brought to not only soul line dancing here in the state of Texas and in the city of Houston, but also worldwide. She really did some great stuff for line dancing. I also want to talk about Esther Williams. So if you're local to Dallas, you know Esther Williams. Beautiful lady, beautiful soul. She meant business though. If you know Esther Williams, she meant damn business. Very strong personality. Unfortunately, we lost her way too soon also. Now, I didn't know her that well. Yolanda and her crew knew her that well. That's who she was really dancing with. But I want to acknowledge her passing and her impact in the soul line dancing world.
Esther came to me, started line dancing, I don't even remember what year, but 2012, okay, 2012. And she was really wanting to learn how to line dance, and she got started, and she came with a vengeance. She was not going to stop until she got it. If she didn't know the steps, she was going to go home. She's going to turn that TV around, put a mirror up, and she's going to get that dance. She come back, she's going to have that dance, or almost have it. And Esther was always a person, if you needed a person to talk to, she was always networking. She's going to always talk. She's going to meet no strangers, none. You go somewhere, she go to a trade, you're like, how you know that person? Oh, girl, I was on Facebook. I met them on Facebook. Like, okay, that's your best friend now. When you get, oh, I'm going to know somebody when I go somewhere. So she always did. Esther was always a person, if you needed her help or do something, she would always be available and willing to help anytime. And so we miss her, gone too soon. And yeah, she was just a great person. When you see her, she's gonna always have on her matching clothes from her head to her toe, shirts to her feet, and laughing and smiling all the time. All the time. So yeah, I thank you for acknowledging Extreme Soul Line Dancers, whole group, coming, not the whole group, but quite a few of them are here tonight. And so I appreciate that acknowledgement that you did. Yeah, we miss Esther. I don't know what else to say.
So when you're a soul line dancing instructor, those of y'all who are instructors, y'all know how difficult this is. I mean, you got to teach. You have all those responsibilities that come with that. You got to think about lesson plans and how you're going to do that. You got to think about how you're going to instruct it, do an instructional and break it down. You're thinking about feedback and assessment. You're thinking about managing your class. There's always class management stuff going on in your class. There's that administrative stuff like, where are we going to teach at? Are they going to throw us out this month? Whatever, right? There's record keeping. There's always communicating with your students. There's just all this different stuff. Sometimes you are big brother. Sometimes you are father, mother, sister. Sometimes you're a disciplinarian. And the expectations on you as an instructor are so high. So if you get yourself into a moment where you get pissed off, you're not allowed to really get pissed off. I have to tell people sometimes I'm a regular G. I'm gonna get ticked off from time to time if y'all get me ticked off. And you will hear it because I'm pretty straightforward. Right? But I don't mean no harm. But I want to acknowledge the people who have made Texas line dancing great. Because we have been fighting here in the state of Texas to make sure that they respect us outside of the state of Texas. So I want to start off by acknowledging people in the state of Texas that have made soul line dancing great here. From Tyler, Texas, I want to acknowledge Bobby Mobley. This leader from Rose City, and Rose City Steppers, he has his event every single year. SP Steppers comes through. The guy's humble, he's quiet, he means well. He just does his thing. Good guy all the way around. I want to acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge all the greatness that you do. You travel, you do this for the state of Texas, from talent. I want to acknowledge who's not here, Shay Bruno from the city of Killeen, Texas. We've been to her event several times. Shay Bruno has not been line dancing as much lately. From ATL Sliders, Texas chapter. I want to say thank you to her for the things that she's done for this community. I also want to say from the city of San Antonio, thank you to Tony Armstead, Archie B, and Lady Steph. Thank you for y'all's contributions to making the state of Texas great in soul line dancing. From H-Town, man, there's a lot of folks in H-Town. We already talked about Cheryl the Line Dance Queen Williams. I gotta acknowledge Pat Sell and the hot boy and his hot girls. I want to acknowledge Groove 44 and Stacy Archie. Hashtag So Southside. Lee Merriweather, Jackie Lilly, Camille Kirk, Gail Houston, Artie Johnson, and then more recently, Nzinga Khalid, keeping Houston on the map. Now let's talk about the folks in Dallas. I want to publicly acknowledge the folks here in Dallas who get on airplanes, spend their lives, do what they need to do to prepare themselves, make sure that they are matching the themes, support these other groups. I want to make sure that they know that we appreciate you, we see you, no matter what. I want to acknowledge Tangi. I want to acknowledge Carolyn Harper Turner. I want to acknowledge Kevin and his lovely wife, LaDonna, who are sweet as pie. I want to acknowledge the queens up in here. I want to make sure I acknowledge Tiz Stewart. I want to make sure I acknowledge Richard Ziggy Phillips, who's having his event. I want to make sure that we acknowledge all the people here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And we say to all of you, thank you for what you do for soul line dancing. Thank you. Thank you for putting us and keeping us on the map. I might not talk to some of y'all all the time. Hell, I don't like all y'all all the time either. So y'all don't always like me either. It's okay. We are ultimately greater. The sum of us are greater than the individual parts. We need each other. We need each other. We need each other. Need each other. So when y'all ready to throw each other away, remember we need each other. Thank you for what y'all do. Now let's get back to having fun.